It is a special edition of Hashtag as we bring you coverage from the social media day celebrations that happened here in Kampala at the Hive Collab in Kamocha. It was happening for the first time in Kampala, but hundreds of you took time off your lives on Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, Google Plus, and whatever other social network that you frequent, and you are here to discuss all matters social. This show is like an elevator ride up the floors of social media. So we have social media and business, social media for social good, we have social media and being antisocial, among so many other conversations. You are going to like this one. With a panel of key social media influencers, including Albert Muchunguzi, the founder and CEO of PC Tech Magazine, Patricia Cahill, a blogger who also works for Uganda Goes Online, Uni Wamala Luwaga from Blue Flamingo, the organizers of the first ever social media awards in Uganda, Esther Kalenzi, the team leader at 40 Days Over 40 Smiles Foundation, and a room full of even more passionate social media users. The discussion started on a rather ironic note when the day's moderator, Bernard Uluport, asked whether social media is antisocial.
Social media amplifies whoever you are. If you're a social person, social media is the best place because then you meet so many people and your sociability will be amplified. If you're an antisocial person, social media will actually amplify that antisociability. So you'll find yourself, even when you're not doing anything on your phone, you will use the phone as an excuse. So I do not believe in anybody blaming social media for anyone's antisocial behavior.
Social media is so addictive.
Okay.
So if you get there and you cannot control yourself, you will die in your movie. You will practically sit in a corner and die in your movie because you're going to be speaking to a lot of people when you are online than the people around you. Because you have this continuous conversation going on. Another person joins in a hashtag, you're all tweeting and all that stuff. You're going to forget about everything else.
Well, first, I don't think that social media makes people antisocial. It's just one of those technologies that creates a new normal. You think it's antisocial, but it's the new way of socializing. I'll tell you why. Say you take a selfie and you post it. You're somewhere having a holiday and you have got 200 Twitter followers. Some of them may be following you because of your professional work. They may be friends. They could be work colleagues. But now you've added something new to their lives. You've introduced them to an activity. I think, personally, the Twitter, Facebook, and the other cousins of social media have simply expanded what would have considered the normal neighborhood where you go to interact face-to-face. It's really redefining who your neighbor is, or who you want your neighbor to be, for that matter. And it's a conveyor of new social goods. So, for example, many of you simply congregated here because you saw the hashtag, you heard about this from your friends on Twitter or your professional colleagues. And so now we are in a community of people who are interested in at least one thing: social media. So in my own estimation, maybe another 10, 15 years from now, this anti-social behavior is just going to be accepted as normal behavior. And that's really what I have to say about it.
You talked about, was a question about being unsocial on social network, right? You go to a bar, you find a babe really tweeting, says, yeah, I'm hanging out. Okay. She's really hanging out with her phone. Not with anybody else. She's hanging out with her phone, not in the bar.
Okay.
Yeah, then about internet. Let's not confuse internet and social network, right? Internet is really important. I don't have a degree, but everything I know is from the internet. Just download tutorials, learn stuff, start doing stuff. I'm a professional web developer, and sorry, not 6, I'm sorry. But right from the internet, right? But then social network, yeah.
The debate quickly moved to the question of whether social media is overrated. After all, arguments for Social Media Day being declared a public holiday in Uganda were already making rounds in social media circles.
Spending 14 to 20 hours of your life on the internet is typically not good. Health-wise, whichever way you're going to look at it, productivity-wise, it's not healthy. So we give it too much leverage. Yes, it's important, but as any other thing that is important, it's just there. It's not life.
Now, some people here are under the misconception that social media is a lifestyle thing. It's fashionable. It's like dreadlocks. It's going away one time. It will come back another day. First, I think that they have misunderstood the technology. I was here. I got my first cell phone a year after Celltel had just begun. It used to be a very expensive business. Later, I learned that in the entire country we had about 12 to 15,000 landlines. I can see that the average age here is about 24 to 26. Well, Uganda leapfrogged into mobile. People forget that you pass the street and you see all these empty telephone lines because they're not relevant. So you went from about 15,000 landlines to what is the number of phones now? Some 17 million or so, right? That is incredible. So the technology will not allow this to be a passing fad. It's not a fashion. It's not going away. It's just changed the way that we live our lives.
I think many of us have jumped onto this bandwagon that we've not, even after jumping onto the bandwagon, done an assessment whether this is where I want to be and what value do I want to get out of this, or how do I want to be positioned. I normally call it the Me Too strategy. So I'm on Twitter, you just see people retweeting whatever is coming through, which is good. And it's a phase. Let's also appreciate that fact, that a number of us are getting onto Twitter, we are getting onto Facebook, and it's exciting to see something from Amama Babazi. You're like, wow, this guy is also here. Then you see Kabshenga there. Then you see... So it's a phase. I think there's going to be a time when you're going to find people beginning to evaluate the time they spend and what value, the return on investment. Patricia earns money out of it, and I have no reason for anybody who earns money out of social media not to be there 24/7 if they can, but they can't. They are human. So the key thing is we need to start thinking about, am I there for business? And can I, because business comes out of social networks. And that has been the tradition, that your business will grow because you know someone who knows somebody who knows somebody.
Social media, we can say it's not social, but we can say it's useful. And you have to take the responsibility. Again, echoing what Patricia was saying earlier, you have to balance your life, really. You have to decide what percentage is going to business, how can you use social for business, what percentage is enhancing your social life, and what percentage is it enriching you.
As far as social media and business is concerned, it was Albert Muchunguzi who sparked off another round of arguments, testimonies and tweets when he pointed out the limitations of social media in Uganda to reach optimal numbers for business clients.
To add on to what Simon was saying, as a marketeer and as a business developer, how do you use social media? You talked about print. Traditionally, you look at print, radio, the billboards, you look at the experiential, and you look at PR. Yet this is one-way communication. You're talking to strangers and they're not talking back to you. That was the way we used to do things as marketeers back in the day. And then came the internet, and people started websites. They were static websites, but there was some presence online. Then there was a few blogs here and there, and people started packaging their products better to actually be online. And then came digital. Here you're having customers, people saying, oh, we like what we see. Can we come and buy? And then I'm going back to the moderator's question of the Chikuo person. How relevant is it? At this point, this is where it's actually relevant to this person, because we have seen people time and time again complaining that it's too expensive to do business in Uganda. Reason why? They're actually paying 4 million in rent in a building downtown, Sun Plaza. Yet they can actually just go online, have the same products, position them, make sure they are good quality, and they actually do deliveries, and just convert that 4 million in rent into 4 million into paid advertising online. and actually make a profit.
She's talking about doing business online. But I want you to think about this for 1 second. If you have 1.2 million Ugandans on Facebook, and most of them being between 21 and 29 or 21 and 34, yet Uganda has a population of over 35 million with more than 80% below 34. It means of the several tens of millions of Ugandans who are below 34, just about 10%, a very small percentage are on Facebook. So if you're going to do business and make it powered by Facebook, most likely you're going to be targeting a very small percentage of Ugandans.
When we talk about blogging and Facebook, the hits and the likes you're talking about, do you see when you're on Facebook, there's that thing, how many people are talking about you? Facebook is all about who is talking about you, not how many people like your page. The likes are just misleading you. How many people are actually speaking about what your page is about?